Okay, so today my topic is going to be children's perspectives in today's politics. So we all know that children have very vivid imaginations, for a lot of creativity, and we can always see this through their drawings, how they interpret ideas, and it's just, they're not conformed to how adults have to act, and they're not under constant pressure to act like adults. So I formulated my research question based on this, and I asked, should children's perspectives be included in today's politics? So my connections to the stimulus material. So in the Looking Glass House, you can see Alice and how her creativity, and you can see her imagination really come through in this story. She sees things through a different perspective, and she always has this sort of childlike behavior that the children have in today's society. And then in Attitudes Towards Muslim Women, you see this prejudice and this judgment of this certain ethnic group. And this is more apparent in adults than in children. And if children are taught to have these prejudices, this can hinder their political decisions. So my argument, the benefits of having children's perspectives in today's politics is that they're less biased and they have a more open-minded perspective. Furthermore, they can solve issues through their innovative and imaginative idea, which could be very useful in figuring out good ways to solve issues. And then lastly, including children's perspectives in politics takes into account the entire population's opinion, which can be more effective when making political decisions for the population. So, unbiased and open-minded. So children usually have more pure and untainted ideals. Also, that less ulterior motives are present. And so this is actually related to their innocence and how they their newness to the world and how they first see concepts. Also, their impartiality, and this relates to the Piaget's theory. And this theory is that children, they will mimic what they see. So if they see racism, biasness, prejudice, they will mimic that. And so adults need to make sure to teach their children to not be racist and to not have these ideals. My second point, imagination and innovation. So children have fresh and less corrupt ideas that they bring to the table. They believe that everything is feasible. They are not stuck in this box of thinking that you cannot overcome these boundaries, you cannot make these things possible. And my examples are, there's this 11-year-old boy who wanted to understand why we couldn't hear each other when we spoke underwater. So he developed an underwater speaking device. And this just shows how much creativity children can have and how much they will go, the extent to which they will go to create these things. Furthermore, Edwin Land's Polaroid camera. He is the creator of the Polaroid camera. And the only reason why he was able to create this was because of his daughter's question of why can't we see the physical picture immediately. She wanted to understand why when you took a picture, you just didn't have it physically. And that's when he developed this Polaroid camera. Also, they develop creative solutions to pressing issues such as gun laws and environmental issues. They could have great innovative ideas to solve global warming, ocean pollution, and any sort of pollution or that is happening in the world today. The adult perspective. Adults are usually confined through rules and regulations. Their authority figures, such as their bosses, will sometimes impose these rules to hinder creativity and just to, so that they will just achieve their work, not in a creative way. And this is also, adults have experienced failures and humiliations, and this can also prevent them from having this imaginative and innovative ideas. Furthermore, their opinions are altered by social media and religious beliefs and traditional values, which can affect how they decide politically and how they would like their behavior politically. And my last point is population consideration. So children are affected by these issues in politics today. Children have been shot in shootings, they have been in these DACA disputes. They are affected by political decisions, so why shouldn't they be able to be a part of making these decisions? And also, children make up a large portion of the population. You have to encompass everyone's opinion to make a political decision that will benefit the entire society. They are the future citizens of of any country, so they have to know they have to know how to deal with political disputes and so my solution. I believe that children should play a part in political decisions. I think this can be done through youth parliamentary representatives, through public consultations with children, and with youth policies. By including all of these, you will get children to have more votes in polls that we can use for our political debates and choices. Also, I think that politics should be included in schools. They should be taught in schools so that children know how to manipulate these political ideas, political skills, and they will develop citizenship skills, and they will have more experience with topics. Although there are some limitations. Children can be immature and not have as many social skills developed than adults do. So their inexperience with these topics can make it hard for them to choose coherent political decisions and have a developed political mind. And also parental influence. Having these authority figures, they could either pass on religious beliefs, any bias, any prejudice onto their children, which can make their political decisions or opinions differ and be influenced by their parental figures. Here are my sources. Thank you.
All right, so let me ask you a couple of questions. So you gave some ideas. I'm just wondering what would be the real world implications or consequences? How do you see that coming to fruition? Like, say it was applied in your community. Like, give me an idea.
The real world implications.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the real world implications is that having these immature kids could really deteriorate the political decisions, and because children can be inexperienced and all over the place in this idea that, oh, we don't care, this isn't important, this isn't something serious, but when in the true life it is. It's political decisions affect how people live, how they interact with each other, and having this flood of kids integrated into these polls or votes or whatever, this can make it hard for us to have an accurate vote of who is on which side, whose side who's who, and so this can make it hard to have these coherent political decisions.
Okay. So what information did you need that you weren't able to find or locate, and how did you go about trying to find that information?
The information I need was the children's behaviors. I really wanted to find statistics on children's behaviors and how they act into different situations. And in the beginning, I was just looking for articles and statistics, but then to actually find something that was related to my topic, I found a TED Talk, and she showed these statistics and these trial runs that she had done on children that showed how they think differently than adults do.
All right.